Well, let's go with what I'm saying. Well, wait, let me say. Our floor is not finished, but can you hear me? Real smoke, we're all places. Probably not. I'm kidding.
Okay.
You know, for me, it's not a big deal.
I'll make sure that
You know
happens.
something? When I first came to jail, we went to training.
I'm never warned.
Good morning. Okay. I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc.
Good morning. Please mute your phones and turn your attention to the public safety announcement.
In the event of an emergency at NJ Transit, your safety is our top priority. Please pay attention to the following safety instructions. In case of an emergency, announcements will be made over the loudspeaker or by a uniformed police officer. The main exit for this location is the stairwell, located in the lobby next to the elevators. There is a second staircase through the door behind the dais on the right, under the exit sign. If necessary, NJ Transit Police will administer CPR and use the defibrillator located near the elevator. Fire extinguishers are located in the front and back of this room. Please do not approach the dais. Documents can be presented to staff at the entrance of the boardroom. Please follow the directions of the NJ Transit Police and staff. Thank you, and have a safe day.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Brantis.
Here.
Board Member Brown.
Here.
Board Member Morocco.
Here.
Board Member Nara.
Here.
Board Member Thomas.
Here.
Board Member Weiss. Here. Board Member Kena.
Here.
Board Member Cruz.
Here.
Vice Chair Carson.
Here.
Chair O'Connor.
Here.
For the record, Vice Chair Carson and Board Members Caniff and Nara are participating remotely. Board Member Medina is absent. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notice was filed on December 5th, 2024 with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual agency and organization that requested such notice.
We will need to hold a brief executive session to discuss a matter that will be voted on today. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiations, the status of pending and anticipated litigation, and matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, including but not limited to the appointment of an executive director, president, and chief executive office. May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second? Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss? Yes. Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I hereby reconvene the open sessions board meetings. Megan, can you please take a roll call vote?
Roll call. Board Member Brontes. Board Member Brown.
Here.
Board Member Marocco.
Here.
Board Member Nara.
Here.
Board Member Thomas.
Here.
Board Member Weiss.
Here.
Board Member Caniff.
Here.
Board Member Cruz.
Here.
Vice Chair Carson. Vice Chair Carson, we didn't hear you.
Sorry, I said here.
Okay. Chair O'Connor.
Here. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 13, 2024 board meeting?
Motion.
May I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? President and CEO Corbett will present the President and CEO's monthly report.
Well, thank you. Good morning, Chair and members of the board. Good morning to all the public joining us in person and online today. As the board is certainly already aware, it is with decidedly mixed emotions. This past Monday, I submitted my formal resignation that will be effective January 15th, pursue a new professional opportunity, as well as a chance to spend some long overdue time with my family. I must say, as I told as a aside to Fran, my wife is very happy that I won't be having the cell phone under the pillow 24/7. So there's definitely one upside to moving on, but it is bittersweet. To ensure a smooth transition for my successor, I'll remain on in a consultative capacity for 30 days beyond January 15th. As I stated in my letter, I am profoundly grateful for the trust Governor Murphy and this board placed in me, and for the opportunity to work alongside an extraordinary team of more than 12,000 men and women dedicated to serving the residents of New Jersey. I believe the ultimate goal for any CEO, and my team has heard a lot, is to leave the organization stronger than when you found it, and I know we have achieved that together. Working together with the board and great support from the board, which I truly appreciated, incredible talented staff. I'm extremely proud of what we've accomplished together. It's always easy to knock transit agencies, all our peers around the country, we'll all make jokes about it, but it's the nature of the beast. But from our early days, when we came in with a seemingly impossible PTC deadline, obviously we accomplished, to hiring hundreds of locomotive engineers to stabilize service, to keeping our state moving during the COVID crisis. We really saw the best of public service in our organization, maintaining full service and launching our first ever 10-year strategic plan, $17 billion first ever 5-year capital plan in 2020 at the height of the pandemic, while other transit agencies were scaling back and suspending their capital programs and service levels. We've advanced more than $6 billion in infrastructure projects. That's compared to less than $60 million in the year before I came in. We have another $8 billion in planned expenditures over the next 3 years. And I would say thanks to our successes, the future is bright for New Jersey, including the 2026 FIFA World Cup Finals and the 2025 World Cup Club Finals at MetLife Stadium. Another point of progress worth noting, by advocating through the Northeast Corridor Commission, where I serve as co-chair, we have successfully convinced Amtrak to recognize the accelerated deterioration of their infrastructure along the Northeast Corridor, which has clearly had a negative impact on our customers and our reputation. As our board knows, we have given Amtrak our commitment to support their efforts in developing a comprehensive, detailed, and credible timeline and plan to prioritize the upgrades of their most vulnerable infrastructure along the Northeast Corridor. Part of our commitment is to accommodate their work with extended track outages, which will require sufficient advance notice and planning to mitigate the impacts on our customers to the greatest extent possible. We once again thank the Governor and our congressional delegation, particularly, for their continued support in these efforts. While we've accomplished a lot, there's still much work to do, and a transit agency's job is never done. I'm confident that together we have built a foundation of our progress and resilience that ensures NJ Transit is well positioned for the future. I want to again thank Governor Murphy and Fran, particularly as chair. It's been a real pleasure, and of course the entire board, for the privilege of being able to lead this organization, and just all the support you've given me through my tenure. But getting back to business, I'm pleased to note that NJ Transit Super Saver Fare was in effect over Thanksgiving holiday, allowing kids to ride free for the entire long weekend, and we added service over that time as well. On November 27th, NJ Transit also provided early getaway rail and bus service. On Thanksgiving Day, we added extra trains and buses to the schedule, and on November 29th, we provided bus service to shopping centers throughout New Jersey. We also offered our family Super Saver throughout the entire month of December, along with our popular Bring a Friend and City Pass promotions. Full details are available at njtransit.com/holiday. In addition to those special holiday services, NJ Transit ensured reliable transportation for sports fans attending events at MetLife Stadium, providing seamless service for 2 Jet games and 2 Giant games since our last board meeting. I would point out we are not responsible for the outcome of the results of the games. We just get people there and back. Moving on to our agenda, I'd like to highlight 2 contracts up for board consideration this morning. First is our board will be voting to approve a contract with MPC Bus Corporation to operate NJ Transit Access Link service in Region 6, which includes Bergen, Passaic, Hudson, and parts of Essex County. Contracting with MPC will enable NJ Transit to provide Region 6 Access Link customers with more personalized customer service, specialized accessible vehicles for people using mobility device, and a higher degree of driver sensitivity and improved passenger assistance techniques. This effort also builds on the momentum of our Access Link Rider's Choice program, which has significantly improved accessibility and convenience for Access Link customers in Region 2, 4, 5, and 6 by allowing customers to opt in to receive their rides through Uber, Lyft, or Black and White Taxi. Our board today will also vote this morning to advance NJ Transit's largest resiliency project, the Raritan River Bridge, dovetailing with the completion of the lead that many of you have seen on this project, the first $248 million contract. Today, our board will vote to approve the bridge's second construction contract, which mainly consists of the actual lift bridge, the actual lift span, that will be movable lift span. And through this contract, NJ Transit will complete the bridge, allowing us to decommission the existing 100-year-old plus bridge and eliminate one of the most vulnerable points on the North Jersey coastline. We expect the new bridge to be completed by the third quarter of 2029. We also continue to see progress on other major capital projects, including ones that are vital to the Northeast Corridor's future as well. That includes our Portal North Bridge, where on November 26th, I was pleased to be on site to co-host media availability along with the FTA, Amtrak, and our contractor Skanska to celebrate the arrival and the installation of the new bridge's first main arch span following a 30-hour journey down the Hudson River. The 2 additional arches, each weighing approximately 2,500 tons and measuring 400 feet long and 80 feet tall, will make the journey by barge over the next 2 months. And when the third arch is secured in the center in place in mid-February, the bridge will effectively be structurally complete. In addition, I'm pleased to note, with NJ Transit support, Amtrak recently secured $440 million in grants through the FRA's federal-state partnership for intercity passenger rail program, and approximately $300 million of these dollars are dedicated specifically to the Northeast Corridor and will directly benefit both NJ Transit and Amtrak and our customers through critical infrastructure improvements, including signal systems upgrades between New Brunswick and Elizabeth, design and environmental review for the replacement of the ancient catenary from New Brunswick to Newark with modern constant tension catenary, which maintains wire tension under extreme weather, heat or cold, the Substation 41 renewal project, which will modernize a key point in Amtrak's electric track system, and the Sawtooth Bridge replacement project, which includes updated track, signals, catenary, and other infrastructure in that critical territory. When you combine these projects with the major gateway projects already underway, including Portal North and the Hudson Tunnel, approximately 94 miles of track of ancient 1930 years catenary will be replaced with modern signal systems and modern constant tension catenary. Beyond the NEC infrastructure improvements, Amtrak will invest $144 million from these grants into the expansion and renovation of Penn Station in New York. This expansion will ultimately add tracks to Penn Station, New York, further increasing the capacity and enhancing reliability for NEC services. This effort is another essential element in the overall Gateway program and will one day enable NJ Transit to double the capacity into Penn Station from 24 trains per hour at the peak to 48 trains per hour, and as well as significantly improving reliability and resiliency for our service. Building on these critical advancements for the Northeast Corridor, NJ Transit is also making significant progress on key infrastructure projects within our own rail network. Tomorrow morning, I look forward to attending the groundbreaking ceremony to mark the beginning of construction on the second phase of our County Yard Delco Lead Storage and Inspection Facility. I will be joined by FTA Regional Administrator Mike Collada and other state and local officials to mark this significant milestone and our ongoing effort to enhance rail resiliency and reliability. This $500 million project represents a critical investment in ensuring our rail network is prepared for extreme weather events, a challenge we face with increasing frequency. Positioned strategically outside the flood-prone areas, the state-of-the-art facility will enable us to store rail vehicles safely, conduct inspections efficiently, and return trains to service rapidly following major storms. This facility is also key for accommodating the 174 new multi-level rail cars we have purchased over the past 6 years. With these cars set to begin entering revenue service next year, Delco Lead facility will be instrumental in supporting both the maintenance and operation needs of our expanded fleet. Moving on to updates regarding NJ Transit personnel, I'd like to share another example of the exceptional dedication and professionalism of our Transit Police Department. This morning, it's my pleasure to present proclamations to two New Jersey Transit Police Department officers here with us today, Miriam Dina and Sarah Savitsky, who on November 24 saved 3 separate lives on our Newark light rail system. The first life was saved when Officer Adina was dispatched to our Norfolk Street station following reports of an unresponsive male laying on the platform. Officer Adina quickly assessed the situation, confirmed that the man was unresponsive, not breathing, and without a pulse. Demonstrating extraordinary professionalism, calmness under pressure, and life-saving skills, Officer Adina immediately began CPR and administered other life-saving measures until EMS arrived on the scene, at which time the man regained consciousness and became alert. Through Officer Adina's swift response and effective actions, a life was saved, and the man was safely transported to St. Michael's Hospital for further evaluation and treatment. Later that day, Officer Tara Savitsky was dispatched to our military park station for a report of 2 unresponsive individuals. Officer Savitsky arrived to find 2 individuals in distress, quickly began performing CPR and other life-saving measures on both individuals. With the timely arrival and assistance of additional officers, as well as the coordination of Newark University's Medical Center EMS, both individuals regained consciousness and were safely transported to local hospitals for further care. Officer Savitsky's swift and decisive actions, coupled with the collaborative efforts of fellow NJ Transit Police and emergency personnel, directly resulted in saving the lives of 2 individuals in a critical situation. We are fortunate to be joined this morning by both Officers Adina and Savitsky, and along with, of course, our Chief Chris Trusillo. So will the 3 of you please join me in front of the boardroom and allow me to present special proclamations to Officer Adina and Savitsky. And I'd like the board members that do come up and join. In conclusion, as we enter the holiday season, I'm pleased to note that NJ Transit hosted a number of holiday celebrations and community building events last week, including a menorah lighting on December 4th at Newark Penn Station, where I was pleased to join Rabbi Kanelsky from Bris Avraham in Hillsdale to celebrate the beginning of Hanukkah. Our annual Railman for Children ride on December 6th, where hundreds of less fortunate children rode with Santa along our Montclair Booten line, complete with presents, treats, and decorations, and lots of holiday cheer. And the Polar Express ride along our river line on December 7th, also with Santa presents and treats for kids battling childhood illness in partner with Ronald McDonald House of Southern New Jersey. We also once again hosted the Emmy and Grammy Award-winning New Jersey Symphony at Newark Penn Station yesterday, offering free holiday-inspired musical performances through our revitalized Music in Motion program. To wrap up this morning, I'm pleased to note that NJ Transit has once again been recognized as a top employer by Forbes for the 6th time in 6 years. Last month, NJ Transit was named to the inaugural Forbes 2025 America's Dream Employers list, which measures leading companies from across the nation to identify organizations with strong leadership, high employee satisfaction, and the reputation as a desirable destination for those in the workforce. This recognition underscores the strides we have made over the past 6 years to build a workplace where the employees feel valued and supported. And I'm proud to see NJ Transit once again recognized nationally as an employer of choice both by current and prospective employees. And with that, Chair, I conclude my remarks and turn the floor back to you.
Kevin, thank you so much. And on a personal note, thank you so much for your friendship over these last 10 months. Your compassion and hard work and dedication to the people of New Jersey and our colleagues at New Jersey Transit has been tremendous. we all, everybody on the board here wishes you so much success in your next, I'm going to say your next step. I know you're not going far. I can actually probably see you out there every single meeting. But again, thank you so much for all your work for the last 7 years here.
Do you mind if I say?
No, not at all.
Kevin, I also wanted to thank you for your steady leadership of this agency and your dedication to transit over many years. It really is your steady hand that helped navigate the agency through some incredibly difficult times, most notably COVID, and to really turn it around. And so I'm deeply appreciative of all the work you've done, and on a personal level, I value your friendship, and I appreciate the time that we were able to work together. So thank you.
All right, we have.
I'm sorry, Chair.
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to say one last thing because they've covered basically everything I'd like to say, CEO. Other than just, I have so many times, I guess 2 days ago, early in the morning on the train, from riding the bus, at night, I'll get a call from you, and just the dedication to the work on a personal level. I know what it's done to your family and everything else to have this level of commitment, but it's visible. And this is not an easy management job. It's hard to imagine a harder management job. And so really enjoy working with you in this capacity, in my former capacity, and hopefully again in the future quite soon.
And I'm sorry, Chair, I'm going to add on. I'm not there today, and I regret that because of this event, what's happening today. But Kevin, you and I spoke the other day, and I expressed a lot of sentiments, but I would really like to echo what everyone is saying. Your leadership of this incredibly large, diverse, complicated agency has been laudable. And I know that you are a lightning rod for the criticism for this agency, and you have taken it, and you have accepted criticism when it's been constructive and valid and tried to address issues, and when it has not, you have kept your chin up, and I very much appreciate that and your stewardship of this agency. So thank you.
Here, Kevin, now can we get back to business? Okay. Suzanne Mack will present the advisory committee report.
Yes, Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Yes, we could.
Commissioner, can you? Oh, good. Thank you. I'm sorry also that I was not going to be here today. I will be there. I will join you in January. We actually had the privilege of meeting with Kevin at our quarterly advisory board meeting on December 6th, where we went over a myriad of issues, a few of which I will highlight in a minute. But what I really wanted to say was that we were not aware that he was going to be leaving at that point in time, and I don't know if he'll be there for the next meeting. So I do want to go on record as thanking him. When Kevin first came on, the biggest issue that we were facing was positive train control, and nobody thought that we'd ever be able to figure that one out. But very much after that, the whole world turned on its dime, and we went through the COVID era. And as everyone in this room knows, what Governor Murphy did for the citizens of New Jersey during the COVID experience could not be paralleled. And Kevin was a big force in that. The whole transportation network went bluey. I mean, nobody was going to work. Everybody was home. Our bus drivers were out. Our train people were out. Putting their lives on the line, and unfortunately some people lost it, and really did the commitment that is really the Murphy administration to provide a safe, reliable service. We are definitely in a better place than we were then, and I'm very excited, along with the committee, to not only wish Kevin much success in his future, but to support the new executive director and the board as we move forward. It's a real privilege to work with somebody like Kevin and with this board, and even though this is a little unexpected, it's a nice way to end the year, but I'm sure that the policies that he's put in place, and the staff is outstanding. So with that, I will say that one of the new staff members, the customer advocate, Frank Booman, presented on the passenger journey mapping system that he set up to the PACs and engaged us to participate. Also, Paul Wyckoff discussed the Presidential Emergency Board action by President Biden to keep the ongoing labor dispute between New Jersey Transit and the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen on track to get that resolved. And also, Director Lazaro gave us community feedback on the Walter Rand Transportation Center, because as Kevin will say, things may change, but it's the actual nuts and bolts of what this agency is doing for the citizens of New Jersey that goes on, and that'll be the legacy that we have to go for. One of the most important things that we were really concerned about and happy to hear was that the governor had tackled the situation with Amtrak. If we don't get a solution with Amtrak for our riders, we will continue to have problems moving forward into the future. So we applaud the governor and this board and Kevin for putting at the forefront so that we can start to really resolve these issues of maintenance and improvement in the Northeast Corridor. There are a lot of other nice things, wonderful things that are going on. My board, my committee is always interested in Access Link, which is on the board agenda today, because this is one of the programs that services are most likely people who need services that cannot take our usual bus services and rail services. So we're always pleased to see that action on the board. And I do know that there is an action for the appointment of the executive director, president, and CEO. And while we'll hear that later in the meeting, I just want everyone to know that the advisory boards are totally committed to a good transition and will help you in any way possible to make sure that the citizens of New Jersey continue to receive the services that you all have done for us. I want to thank you, and I hope you all have a very nice holiday season. And I hope that we'll see you in January in 2025. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Suzanne. Sally Jane Gellert will present the Senior Citizen and Disabled Resident Transportation Advisory Committee report.
Good morning. ScatterTAC, the Senior Citizens, this is Sally Gellert, the chairperson of the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee. And we have an election this year, again with competitive nominations for at least some of the offices, which indicates that we really care about our committee, our constituents, and ensuring that we do the best we can to support senior and disabled New Jersey Transit customers, especially county riders, and oversee the county transportation programs that are funded by casino revenue in New Jersey Transit. Last month, we had a presentation by the Passaic County Director of Transportation about their program, which covers rural, suburban, and urban areas, as well as serving as a backup to some municipal programs, and is starting a pilot microtransit program in a limited zone. We're looking forward to hearing from more counties and have been interested in microtransit options. Our Education Committee is requesting a presentation on the subject. I've coordinated that with Janelle Rosera and committee member Steve Fatante, and we're planning that for February. Since our last semi-annual report, I made statements at the New Jersey Transit Accessibility Forum and at 2 of the 3 regional ScatterTAP hearings hosted by the agency in each of the 3 state regions. In September, some of our members attended the Accessibility Forum in Newark, in person or virtually, and were pleased to see a robust attendance. There were many concerns expressed about Access Link services, with some compliments for frontline personnel on the Rider's Choice program, but many concerns about long rides, long waits for phone calls, and the need for appointment-based scheduling. Given all that we heard at the Accessibility Forum, we note with interest your action item 2412-67, and we'll be interested to see if there is improvement to some of the concerns that have been raised by our members and many others who use Access Link. We would have liked to see mention of what metrics will be used to evaluate changes in performance, having heard complaints about phone call times, as I said, missed calls, and extremely long rides. We are hoping that the planned appointment time scheduling, as opposed to pickup time only ride scheduling, will be fully instituted, and that riders with internet access will be able to use an online request system. We know that other riders prefer to speak directly to a dispatcher and should be able to continue to do so. At some future date during the contract period, the public as well as our committee would expect to see a progress report. At our October meeting, former Cape May County Transportation Director Dan Mulvaney gave a presentation on advisory committees. It was well done and an interesting review, though not particularly new to long-term members. Informative to those new to the committee. I believe that local program is considering offering the presentation to county advisory committees as well. We are pleased to hear that our 4 membership candidates have been approved for full membership, and we look forward to welcoming Dave Anderson, Karen Barrett, Amanda Chiarelli, and Walter Jacobs as such at our meeting on September 16th. They have been attending meetings for at least the last few months while their applications have been processed. We now have only one remaining vacancy in Central Jersey to complete our roster. Thank you, Mr. Corbett, for doing that before you leave. This was, my comments were made before I knew that you were going to resign, so good luck in your next steps. We're looking forward to our December meeting here in Newark this coming Monday, December 16th, which is our annual holiday party, as well as elections for officers for the next year. We wish all a gentle solstice, a happy holiday season, and a prosperous new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally Jane. Are there any comments from the public?
There are 4 in-person speakers and 6 pre-registered telephone speakers. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Priority access will be given to pre-registered in-person speakers, followed by any additional in-person speakers. We will then take comments from pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you've not already done so, please press star on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. The first speaker is Christian Hartman, followed by Jerome Johnson.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the board, and good morning, members of the public, too. My name's Chris Hartman. I'm Senior Vice President of the New Jersey Alliance for Action, and today I'm here not only on behalf of our thousands of members, but I'm also a user of the transit system, and I'm a Bergen County resident as well. Anybody, don't hold that against me if you're in South Jersey or any other, but I'm a proud Bergen County resident. For the official record, the New Jersey Alliance for Action, we're celebrating our 50th year, and we're a nonpartisan, nonprofit association representing thousands of business, labor, government, utility, education, professional, and other New Jersey leaders. Our mission is to improve New Jersey's economy through the promotion of environmentally friendly capital construction and infrastructure investment. We wanted to go on record to support the incredible transformation of NJ Transit over the past 7 years under the leadership of Kevin Corbett. That transformation includes more than $6 billion in capital improvements, another $8 billion to come in the next few years. Kevin talked about positive train control in his comments. Kevin's also led the agency as they created their first ever 10-year strategic plan. They coordinated with federal agencies on projects such as the Portal North Bridge, the Gateway Tunnel. Each of these investments are providing better service to the transportation public. They're game changers that also create thousands of good-paying construction jobs as well. Kevin came on board during a very challenging time for NJ Transit. I remember him telling us a story when he first came on board about some very questionable social media accounts that cropped up around that time that I won't repeat because they were a little gross. But under his leadership, the agency was awarded the coveted Most Outstanding Public Transportation designation from the American Public Transportation Association in 2023. So we salute his leadership. We value how open he has been with the industry during his tenure as well. So I want to say thank you. We also wish to comment on Chris Calori. Chris has a long background in transportation, community engagement, and government. Under Chris's leadership, the Gateway Development Commission was able to secure their $6.9 billion grant from the Federal Transit Administration for the new tunnel under the Hudson River. And I'm sure many people here see that as the most important infrastructure project in the entire nation today. We see the benefits of transit investments everywhere in our state, with transit-oriented development along key branches of Transit's rail network, from Metro Park to the Walter Rand Transportation Center down in Camden, and so much more. The Alliance for Action is going to continue to support investment in New Jersey's mass transit system, which we see as vital to the state's economic future. I want to thank you for the opportunity to comment today, and thank you once again, Kevin.
The next speaker is Jerome Johnson, followed by Orlando Riley.
Good morning, Chairman O'Connor, Vice Chair Carson, President Corbett. Once again, we're here to talk about, of course, the health insurance. We would like to stay with Blue Cross Blue Shield, as everybody knows. We haven't come here the last 2 meetings because think our voices were heard, and we wanted to give you guys a chance to do your due diligence. I'm listening here today with all the accolades given to President Corbett, well deserved. But on his way out, he needs to handle this. We need this done, not just for my 1,500 members or all the ATU members, but the 12,000 members that he just mentioned that works for New Jersey Transit. You just said that Forbes magazine named you guys one of the best employers in the nation. One of the reasons why is because of our health insurance. Let's not forget that. If you want to keep that status, you have to keep Blue Cross Blue Shield. Stop putting members in fear of thinking that they're going to lose their primary doctors, their primary physicians, their children, their wives that have got devastating health issues that now they don't know is going to be cared for properly by going through Aetna. Thank you for the year extension. I don't want to lose that. We appreciate that, but that means our voices are being heard. But it's not enough, and we're asking you again. I'm not going to belabor the point. Please, let us keep Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's that important, not to just us labor workers, to every worker that works for New Jersey Transit. That includes your police officers, that includes your management team, that includes your frontline employees, like you just said during COVID, worked out here every day. And now we're going to shove a subpar insurance company down their throats. When we did what we had to do, please support us. That's all we're asking for. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Orlando Riley, followed by Davis Anderson.
Morning. I don't think I have to say much now after Jerome. He pretty much covered what we've been saying for the past few months. But first, I'd like to address everyone. Good evening, CEO Corbett. Good evening, Chairman O'Connor. Kevin, just want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. It's been a pleasure working with you, particularly during COVID, that extremely difficult time. You're really compassionate towards our members. We appreciate it. And we even found out your middle name here, thanks to Stephen, right? All right. But on a serious note, 6 months ago, not 6 months ago, excuse me, back in July, I came to the board and I expressed, along with my brothers and sisters here, the representatives from the ATU behind me, we expressed our concern about the possible change of health insurance from Blue Cross to Aetna. And spoke about the serious health conditions our line of work exposes us to, how we are faced with physical and verbal assaults on a daily basis. Also spoke about the employees who are suffering from terminal illnesses, similar to what my brother Jerome said. How they've been calling, concerned, and fearful about the status of their coverage, and to which I could only answer that we'll fight like hell for our coverage. And again, I said this earlier, and I'm going to ask you, the board again, please do not believe this nonsense that a company, especially in healthcare, will provide service equal or better and save you money, millions of dollars. It just doesn't happen. That's impossible. So what we are asking is that you continue to provide healthcare coverage to your thousands of New Jersey Transit employees, both agreement and non-agreement, who have relied on this for decades. This isn't a time to try out something new. When especially not healthcare, at a time when bus operators particularly are under more stress than ever. When the breaks are shorter between rides and we're physically assaulted more than we've ever been. This one decision will not only negatively affect your workforce, but it will affect your ability to hire some new employees for some positions, that are barely above the state's minimum wage. So we're asking you to stand, as Jerome said previously, with your thousands of employees, over 10,000, and stick with Blue Cross and do not turn your backs on them. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Davis Anderson, followed by Zoe Baldwin.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, the chairman and vice chair of the board, and Kevin, I wish you the best in your future endeavor, and thanks for your service. My name's David Anderson. I'm a new member of ScatterTAC. I'm glad to be on that committee. I'm also a member of the Lackawanna Coalition and the Rail Users Network. I want to speak about a problem which is it's concerning to many people I've talked to, and I've heard things about, Jersey Transit tends to have a negative reputation of lack of communication. Whether that's justified or not, I can't really say, but it just seems to me that many things can be done with more openness. The problems that come up are opaqueness or opacity, and it's not only in our train windows on multi-level cars. Decisions are often made in advance out of the public view, and action items are presented to the board. They seem to come out of the blue, and they're passed unanimously. Very seldom are there dissenting votes on the board, and I think the sign of a healthy board is to have some dissent and open discussion. When concerns arise, people have to take a stand if they don't agree with something. But what has happened is when there are dissenting views, the board members often, they don't remain on the board. And I don't think that's a healthy situation. The case in point comes in the closing of Kingsland Station in Lyndhurst. Recently, about 2 months ago, there was a hearing which Transit had at the Lyndhurst Town Hall. I'd say about 38 people spoke. All but 2 urged Transit, New Jersey Transit, to keep Kingsland Station open. It has problems with, aging infrastructure and lack of ADA accessibility, but it serves the town well because it's the conjunction of the main line and the main artery through Lyndhurst Ridge Road.
Thank you. The next speaker is Zoe Baldwin, followed by the telephone speakers.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today. And I just wanted to say, Kevin, on behalf of the Regional Plan Association and our board of directors, thank you so much for your service. I forgot to say, I'm Zoe Baldwin, Vice President for State Programs of Regional Plan Association. But seriously, thank you for your service. This can be a really thankless job. You get blamed for the weather and a million other things that are out of your control, and you really did a good job of really nailing the things that you could control. And I want to say, chief among those are the capital plan was all but anemic when you came in. And that is the second most important job of any transit agency, is maintaining and improving the system, because it's the only way you get to the first most important job, which is getting people where they need to go when they need to be there. And you really focused your energies there. You got operating funding for the first time, which is something that has been trying to get done for decades. These are milestones that are often ignored, but they're really, really important. And then similarly, the on-time performance has gotten better. It doesn't feel that way every day for riders, but you have set the agency on a trajectory. A lot of these fixes take a little bit of time to set in and for riders to feel. It takes a few years between buying new rail cars and actually sitting down in them. And these aren't easy fixes. They're not short-term fixes, but they are incredibly important. And you really did the yeoman's work to set this agency on the right trajectory. And lastly, I'd like to note that you did a lot of this during the pandemic, and that's incredible. There were so many opportunities for the agency to falter or for to not be there for riders during that incredible time. And you kept it going and actually got the system, a little bit better than it was before. And so, again, I could kind of go on, but thank you so much for your service. And then just to add that while we're sad to see you go, we are very excited to see Chris Calori come on in. We couldn't think of a better successor. And fun fact, it was actually while Chris Calori was chairman as DOT that Transit introduced the multi-level cars, and it was the last time they actually got a funding increase from the state. And so I think your work to get in the right hands, the support of the state, and then turning it over to a really capable leader is absolutely where we want to see it. And so thank you again, and RPA really looks forward to continuing work with the board and with the broader agency to make NJ Transit a leader in New Jersey and also make New Jersey a leader in transit. So thank you.
Thank you. Operator, please open the floor to public comments by telephone participants.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you have not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes for their public comments. A warning will be provided with 1 minute remaining, and again with 15 seconds remaining. There are 9 public comments in queue at this time. The first public comment is coming from Anthony Atanasio. Anthony, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning, Chairman O'Connor, members of the board. I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to the board and to the audience and to everyone that's there to just say what everyone else has been saying, which is a very warm congratulations and thank you to President and CEO Kevin Corbett. Once again, my name is Anthony Atanasio. I'm the CEO of Hawk Strategies. I'm a transportation and infrastructure consultant, and I've been able to work with Kevin in several different roles, starting on Governor Murphy's transportation policy team in 2017, where I quickly learned a lot from Kevin, his experiences, but his calmness and his leadership. I think we all who have been involved with New Jersey Transit for more than just a few years have seen this agency in very, very dire straits in recent history. But under Kevin's leadership, under Governor Murphy's leadership, with the board and the staff, we can never forget the men and women who work every day to make New Jersey Transit the great agency that it is. The turnaround is nothing short of just monumentous. It's incredible to have seen an agency that only had PTC at 13% complete after several years reach 100% completion in the federal eyes within almost under 2 years of work. I mean, to have no capital program, the previous administration's last year in office, there was only $25 million in construction contracts. And to see billions of dollars of investment go into the third largest mass transit agency in the nation, and one that is a statewide agency, that takes leadership, real leadership. And I like to consider Kevin a friend, but as someone who works in the industries with engineers, contractors, outdoor advertisers, paratransit, I've seen day to day how this agency embraces its mission, supports its users, and that all comes from the top. And to see a leader like Kevin stay for 7 years in a job like this, I mean, Lord knows he's made of tough stuff. You are definitely made of tough stuff if you've stayed 7 years in this job. We wish you the best in your new role. We look to support you, and we will continue to support the agency in your absence. And if I could, echo what Ms. Baldwin said, to go from someone like Kevin and then to have a former commissioner and chairman take the role of president and CEO, we're very lucky to have Chris Calori stepping in. I know, will tap Kevin's knowledge and recent experiences for the betterment of the riders and to the users. And I just want to thank you all for what you do every day, because delivering almost 900,000 passenger trips a day is a Herculean effort, and you are too often maligned for the great work that you do. So the people of New Jersey Transit, to the staff, and most importantly, Kevin, on your way out, thank you so much for everything you've done. I look forward to working with you again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Robert Bryant. Robert, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioner O'Connor and Executive Director Corbin and board members. I'm Bob Bryant. I'm the CEO of the Utility and Transportation Contractors. Our members basically build and design and supply the infrastructure projects here in New Jersey. Kevin, wanted to thank you personally for the excellent working relationship that you've established with the infrastructure construction community, and particularly our association. You've done a tremendous job at Transit. As Anthony noted, the prior 2 years, you taking over the helm there, it was about $25 million a year in capital investment. You've now grown that under the 7 years you've been there under your leadership to hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And we sincerely appreciate it. We really appreciate the working relationship that you have with the organization. We're saddened to lose you. We want to wish you well in your new endeavors. Greatly pleased that it's being turned over to Chris Calori, who is an infrastructure and transportation expert and a great administrator, so we look forward to working with him. But Kevin, we're still going to miss you greatly. And I do want to mention one more thing. For those of you that don't know, Kevin's son Jay and my daughter Hannah were classmates at the Naval Academy, and they both graduated as aviators. And in light of the Army-Navy game coming up this Saturday, Kevin, in honor of our kids, go Navy!
Thank you. The next public comment will come from Jerry Keenan. Jerry, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Well, thank you very much. Before I get started, I just want to say hello to the chair. I hope you're feeling better. I know you were a little under the weather last week. I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am Jerry Keenan, the president of the New Jersey Alliance for Action. We represent thousands of business, labor, government, academic, utility, and so on leaders, and we're all dedicated to ensuring that New Jersey's infrastructure can keep pace with the needs of its residents and businesses. Chris Hartman, our senior vice president, spoke a little earlier about some of Kevin's professional successes. I'm on vacation now, but I wanted to make sure I call in to speak about Kevin on a real personal level. We deal with a lot of people. I mentioned how many people we represent, but we're working with people all the time. And, every once in a while, we're lucky enough to work with people who become personal friends. And Kevin he's really become one of those people. And I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm also proud to see one of my friends be so successful in his endeavors. As you remember, Kevin took really one of the most challenging jobs you could ever imagine in 2018 when he became the president and CEO of New Jersey Transit. The agency was riddled with problems. Every time you turned on your computer, you saw another issue that Transit was being hammered on. And Kevin, when you came in, you pledged to provide better service. In order to do that, you needed to invest in the infrastructure, and you wanted to improve the lives of millions of commuters each year. And you did that. Your commitment, your drive, your passion, finding resources for all these desperately needed capital improvements really can't be overstated. Your work really touches people in all corners of the state. So I just want to say thank you. I'm so proud of you. Again, I'm proud to be one of your friends, and I'm proud to see my friend be so successful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you continue your work over at Rutgers, Kate. Chris Calori, you know, what can we say about Chris? He's been a leader. He's been a successful leader wherever he's been, working with DOT, working with the Schools Construction Corporation, working with, the coup de grace over at the Gateway Development Corporation or Commission. Your work has been terrific, and we're looking forward to working with you again in the future. So with that, I want to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone soon. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. The next public comment will come from Adam Reich. Apologies. Next public comment is coming from David Peter Allen. David, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Good morning. I am David Peter Allen, speaking today in my personal capacity. When I appeared here 4 weeks ago, I complained about an incident that I reported, number 01669681. I needed to catch the 871 bus at Willowbrook to go to Lincoln Park for an annual event. Because of New Jersey Transit's indifference, I misconnected by less than 2 minutes and missed out on much of what I had hoped to do. Motorists have access to everything, but we non-motorists are limited to the mobility that New Jersey Transit provides, and only at the times you choose to provide it. Only non-motorists really know what it's like to live that way. It would have been easy for customer service to call a dispatcher with a request for the driver on the 871 to wait for a passenger connecting at Willowbrook, which would have had no adverse effects, but that was not done. I had another incident on Sunday, December 1st, when a 31 bus bypassed stop 19338 at the South Orange station, even though the customer service agent on the phone assured me that the bus would stop there. I lost 60 minutes that time, which was also avoidable. I had reported that incident as number 01683314, and I have heard nothing from anybody with suitable authority at New Jersey Transit. Excuse me. Because of the lack of substantive response to complaint number 01669681 as of 4 weeks ago, I complained at the time that this agency has demonstrated reckless disregard for me as a non-motorist. Even now, I have never heard from anyone with suitable authority concerning a solution to the problem I reported. This appears to constitute willful indifference toward the riders who depend on your transit, and it seems as though we are not considered worthy of being taken seriously. This goes beyond my own experience. I know of no person who ever sat on this board who depended on the transit they governed for mobility. The ongoing effort that began last April to suppress ScatterTAC, the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee, continues despite the fact that of the 17 persons who were appointed to the committee through the standard process, 12 are non-motorists, and one of the 5 motorists had depended on transit for several years as an adult. In short, this agency acts like it does not want to hear from its only affiliated group that includes members who depend on rail transit and buses, Access Link, or county-provided transportation.
15 seconds remaining.
I wish Kevin Corbett well in his new position, but at the same time, I hope that Chris Calori's incoming administration will show more concern for those of us who depend on transit than this agency currently demonstrates. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Good morning. First of all, I'm glad to see that the customer advocate is holding a We Are Listening forum. I hope to see more of these. In particular, I would encourage the customer advocate to, A, include a virtual participation option and or hold at least one virtual hearing. It's essential that you do so both from an accessibility standpoint and in order to maximize participation. 5 o'clock does not work for everybody, particularly at a station if somebody's getting off work at 5 o'clock. A virtual option cures this issue and encourages maximal participation. Beyond that, please live stream these forums and ensure that an archive recording is available to the public in the interest of transparency. I would also encourage both the customer advocate and the agency add an online presence with Blue Sky. With people migrating away from Twitter, it would be good and important to add Blue Sky as a platform where you reach riders in the same way you currently do through Twitter. With Mr. Corbett's departure, I will give Mr. Corbett some credit for certain initiatives like completing the implementation of positive train control and replenishing the engineer ranks. But I do stress that there were also a lot of issues with his tenure. As a customer, particularly a customer who went through an application process for a customer advisory board that Mr. Corbett himself endorsed, was offered a position and did not get a meeting with the board we were promised that we were accepted to in the intervening 4+ years, I am deeply disappointed that Mr. Corbett's tenure paid lip service to ridership and transparency more than it did actually engaging members of the public. I would stress that in the same intervening 4 years, Mr. Corbett met multiple times with railway historical societies who do not necessarily comprise paying riders in the way that the customer advisory board would have. So what I ask the board to do is, now that we have a customer advocate, now that we have a new incoming president and CEO, let's hit the reset button. Let's make an effort to meet with the 14 people that you promised an advisory board position to. Even if it's not a standing board, though I recommend it do be, give at least one opportunity for each and every one of the 14 people you promised a position to in 2020 to be heard. Expand the public comment times at committee meetings. Make them at least the same 3 minutes. Make sure that the Operations and Customer Service Committee agendas include details in the written reports like mean distance between failure by equipment type. The Customer Advocates update is as a written item in the agenda, and also a summation of what the customer complaints are commonly and what you're doing to address them. Board members, you've advocated for such information in the past. You should do so in the future, right? Part of the strength in an agency is acknowledging mistakes and showing what you're doing to improve them. So, Mr. Kalori, I would ask, if possible, consider these items. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about the items I care about, what you can do to improve the customer experience and meaningful customer engagement. Thank you, and I hope for a more transparent and engaging new year by this agency, by this board, and by the new president and CEO. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Andy Weiss. Andy, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning. I just read that the new customer advocate and other teams are going to have a listening forum on December 17th in Hoboken Terminal. This is a great first step by our new customer advocate. Great job. This is good news, and we thank you. We need to open up a dialogue with NJ Transit because communication with NJ Transit has been on lockdown for years by CEO Kevin Corbett. Kevin Corbett has created anger and tension for years by avoiding riders and shutting down our voices with short public comment times. The NJ Transit corporate office of Kevin Corbett has treated NJ Transit riders with disrespect for years. NJ Transit was never going to improve with the deeply unpopular CEO, Kevin Corbett. NJ Transit is a filthy and obsolete transit system under Kevin Corbett. Public transit systems all over America are modernizing, but NJ Transit has regressed under Kevin Corbett. For example, NJ Transit took away real-time bus arrival times on third-party apps like Google, City Mapper, and other apps. We can only view scheduled bus times instead of real-time bus arrival times on third-party apps. Kevin Corbett never helped when we asked to get real-time bus arrival time back on the apps, and the problem was never fixed. We used to have real-time bus information on third-party apps like Google and City Mapper, and it was taken away without notice to the public. Thanks for nothing, Kevin Corbett. Kevin Corbett never followed up. What a surprise. Corbett never watched his management teams and allowed them to fail without accountability. Corbett never created a bus lane during his term. It's completely unacceptable. We have no bus lanes in an overcrowded state like New Jersey, while many rural states have bus lanes. Corbett failed with tap and go on the buses because all of the conduit tap and go machines are broken on the buses. Corbett never attempted to create a seamless, fair integration system with the MTA and PATH and ignored many recommendations from NJTPA studies. All three transit systems in the area here have 3 separate fare cards, and that hurts the region. Thanks for nothing, Kevin. Kevin Corbett never tried to extend the Hudson Bergen Light Rail to Bergen County. We have been waiting 25 years. The weekend bus, train, and light rail service was cut all over the system, while NJ Transit gets a fancy new $400 million corporate office for a bunch of failed and overpaid executives at NJ Transit. NJ Transit riders lose every time with Kevin Corbett, and we need to work on recovering from his many failures over the years after he leaves. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Jason Anthony. Jason, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Anthony from the Long Island Railroad 88 Task Force. Complimenting Andy Weiss's comments, it is a good day for those here in the Big Apple, because Kevin Stephen Corbett was never seen meeting with Gianno Lieber, Kenneth Rinaldi, and Rob Freen. And it's very interesting to hear a board member who didn't identify himself not mentioning New York Penn Station. We want to know who it is, because riders like myself who use the system from New York Penn Station, we want to know why is that. Because with Kevin Stephen Corbett's departure, is demonstrating to us that New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc. is setting themselves to fail with the FIFA World Cup 2026. It has set themselves to fail with every single major event. And we never got an apology from New Jersey Transit. Why is it that every single passenger has been stranded since the summer? And every single passenger will be stranded because of New Jersey Transit Rail Operations failure to not fix its failures. And the new CEO will have to meet with General Lieber starting in January. Because if not, this person will be called out by yours truly. And not forget, oil gets. Why is it that New Jersey Transit is not remembering oil gets? He used to attend every New Jersey Transit board meeting. Now I'm doing it for him, because the Pascack Valley line and the main line service has to be improved. So let's fix our service for the benefit of New Yorkers. Because of your incompetence, New Yorkers like me have to pay more to go to Trenton. So let's fix this failure for 2025.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Miguel Saltos. Miguel, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Good morning, board members. Good morning, Mr. Corbett. This morning, I'm here yet again advocating for the Empire train station, conveniently located in the crosspaths of Newark, Bloomfield, Belleville, and East Orange. You all heard right. This station, when reopened, would give access to residents located in 4 cities, as they are all less than 5-minute walk of its location. Recently, my neighbors and I were extremely disappointed by the board's decision to give millions of dollars to Brickchurch Station and East Orange Station, two stations, which are a 10-minute walk from one another, and serve exactly the same community, rendering one of those stations unused and unnecessary, and no support has been given to the Empire train station. I know this because I have to take a $15 Uber to get to them, and they're always empty. If the reason why this board has chosen not to fund the Empire station yet is ridership, let me assure you that there will be more customers at the Ampere station than the other two mentioned. Ampere is in a completely different part of town. Residents have created a change.org petition page which has more than 300 signatures from local residents asking for the station to be back. The change.org page has even real testimonies, for the station. We also have an approval letter from the ex-Bloomfield Mayor Michael Venezia and the Lackawanna Coalition. Much time has passed since the station was closed in the 90s. The Ampere neighborhood has become safe and filled with hardworking people like myself who need this station to be back. There's still time to relocate funds. The bones of the station are intact, including an existing pickup and drop-off roundabout platform. Please do the right thing for the public. Make this make sense. For anyone interested, you can go to the change.org page and type up Ampere train station to see the signatures and customers' reviews. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Joe Fiordaliso. Joe, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you. Chairman O'Connor, members of the board, good morning. My name is Joe Fiordaliso, and I'm speaking to you in my capacity as president of the American Council of Engineering Companies of New Jersey. Mr. Chairman, addressing you this morning is bittersweet because it marks the departure of a friend and dedicated public servant, Kevin Corbett. Kevin inherited an organization in disarray and immediately set about putting New Jersey Transit's house back in order. One of his earliest and most significant achievements was meeting federally imposed deadlines for implementation of positive train control. Under Kevin's leadership, New Jersey Transit developed its first 5-year capital program and 10-year strategic plan. Kevin's credited with completing the construction of the Portal North Bridge on time and under budget. Kevin is to be commended for his public service and calm, steady leadership during difficult times. And Mr. Chairman, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to address Kevin indirectly and say thank you and well done, my friend. Turning to this morning's agenda, with the board's anticipated approval, Chris Calori will continue his remarkable public service to New Jersey and the nation. Chris is clearly not someone who can sit still for long. Just a few short months ago, we bid him farewell as CEO of the Gateway Development Commission. During his 2-year tenure leading GDC, Chris not only built out the organization from scratch, he delivered historic levels of investment for the most consequential infrastructure program in the United States, including the $6.88 billion full funding grant agreement for construction of the Hudson Tunnel project. To those of us who know him, these successes are not surprising. Chris comes to this position a respected infrastructure management and operations expert with experience running multi-billion-dollar public transportation and infrastructure agencies. During my own public service, I served as Chris's chief of staff of the Department of Transportation. I witnessed firsthand the conviction, the mettle, and the unwavering commitment to do the right thing for the public he served and the people he served with. President Kennedy wrote, "Let public service be a proud and lively career." Chris embodies this and truly exemplifies the best of public service. His accomplishments have improved the lives of New Jerseyans by connecting them to jobs and opportunities. His leadership has helped transform forgotten communities into vibrant places to live and raise a family. And his commitment to a strong and resilient transportation network has directly contributed to the region's economic growth. Mr. Chairman, I want to applaud Governor Murphy for his continued commitment to restoring New Jersey Transit to its position of prominence. I likewise commend you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board for your commitment to competent, seasoned, and expert leadership of the largest statewide public transit system in the nation.
15 seconds remaining.
ACEC stands ready to support Chris, the board, and the entire corporation team as it works to fulfill its mission. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the next public comment is coming from Vito Havrilla. Vito, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hello, my name is Vito Havrilla. I am the Vice Chair and Legislative Director of the Lackawanna Coalition. Our website is lackawannacoalition.org. Our next meeting is Monday, December 23rd, 6:45 p.m., Millburn Town Hall. I'll be reading our organization statement. Train number 267 from Hoboken, that's the 525 departure on the Montclair-Boonton line. We request that this 3-car train be expanded to 4 cars due to a lack of space. This is the first train from Hoboken after a 50-minute gap stop at Watsessing and Mountain Avenue stations on the Montclair Boone line. In addition, we request that both these stations be provided with half-hourly service to and from Hoboken during peak hours, as other stations do. Many riders board train number 267 at Newark Broad Street, causing overcrowding. Regularly, 2 to 35 people disembark from the train at Watsessing Station. The requested half-hourly service would resolve this problem. It would provide more evenly spaced trains between Newark Broad Street and the eastern terminals. Action item 2412, 68 Redfern Bridge replacement. What is the plan? There is no public finance plan or schedule presented for this project from start to finish. It was first funded in 2013 with $446.3 million of federal standing money, but where are we now? The second general contract is $444.4 million plus 5%. You already contracted $282 million plus 5%. So where are you getting all this extra money? You need to establish financial and time milestones and report on performance to the public. Action items 241269, 241270.
1 minute remaining.
Ever-changing segmented contracts with zero transparency. New Jersey Transit transparency on contracts has been reached a new low this month. We see why so many changes. What is New Jersey Transit trying to hide with the public is no information on the fiscal time progress. What are the details? We have expressed or displayed numerous contract changes over the year. Other transit agencies are accountable to the public for time and financial performance. NJT is not. As a board, you're responsible for oversight, something we almost never see. As the agency, we recently celebrated its 45th anniversary. Should have enough experience and knowledgeable employees so that many changes should not be needed, and when they are, must be transparent. Action items 2412, 71, and 72. Self-insurance health coverage. Disappointing to see again, NJT is not providing any transparency on the issue of health care coverage for New Jersey Transit, 12,000 employees and their families. Action items 241274. Mr. Corbett, wish you well in your position. Hope you continue riding the trains. Mr. Quillery, wish you well. NJT we offer you our honest feedback, compliments, and criticism alike. We hope that we will do something to riders. We have been waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, and there were no other public comments at this time.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments? Okay.
I'm just very quickly, there were just a couple specific comments from some of the speakers that I know staff's there and they noted them, but if it's the case that David Peter Allen hasn't got any responses on 2 of the complaints he filed, can someone from staff please reach out to him and then get back to us and let us know that that's happened, as well as some of the other specifics regarding the train lines on 265 that were just raised by Vito Havrella. Those are things that are very specific, and hopefully they can be checked into by staff and reported on soon, and maybe to the Customer Service and Ops Committee members. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Are there any additional board member comments? Okay.
Board Member Cruz will present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update from the Customer Advocate, an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and access link, and an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Board Member Marocco will present the Administration Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update. This included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period and fiscal year 25 budget, 12-month fare box revenue compared to pre-COVID, major balance sheet items, and federal COVID-19 relief grant drawdown summary. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service key performance indicators, 12-month fare box recovery, history of vacancy, attrition, and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for October 2024. The committee also received updates from Human Resources and Equal Employment Opportunity and Affirmative Action. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Wise will present the Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee reviewed the board items for the execution of contract 0000060 think I did that right, for the provision of access link service in Region 6, which is Bergen, Passaic, Hudson, and parts of Essex counties. NJ Transit Resilience Program, Rowden River Bridge Replacement Project, award for general construction contract GC2, Perth Amboy Station Accessibility Improvements Project, supplement to construction contract, and construction management services contract, and NJ Transit Resilience Program Meadowlands Maintenance Complex, MMC/Rail Operations Center, ROC, Building Flood Control Contract Amendment for Settlement of Claim. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Wise will continue to present the Energy and Sustainability Policy Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Energy and Sustainability Policy Committee introduced the Energy and Sustainability team members and reported on NJ Transit climate concerns, a general overview of activities, initiatives, and projects, protect projects, resilience study and strategy development, and integrating resilience in the 2025 to 2030 capital plan. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Nara will present the Safety Committee report.
Oh, we can't hear her. She's muted. Board Member Nara? There we go.
I'm sorry, Chairman, I'm sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties, so I can't access my report. If someone in the chamber might be able to deliver it.
I'll do it.
Apologies.
The Agency Safety Management Department provided the NJ Transit Board Safety Committee with an update on key safety performance indicators, KSPIs, for rail, light rail, bus, access link, and construction safety, comparing data from the first 9 months of calendar years 2023 and 2024. Additionally, the NJ Transit Board Safety Committee reviewed plans for the next quarter, focused upon injury and incident reduction efforts. The agency safety management team highlighted ongoing community engagement initiatives, including back to school, events at Palmyra schools. These outreach events targeted parents, teachers, and students at all educational levels from preschool to high school and focused upon raising situational awareness and key safety rules. Following these outreach efforts, the team conducted rail safety presentations in November, reaching students across the same educational spectrum. Further emphasizing agency safety management schools education programs' commitment to safety education, the Safety Training and Outreach Unit delivered 28 rail, bus, and pedestrian safety awareness presentations during the third quarter of 2024, connecting with approximately 3,760 students. Chief Trusillo briefed the committee on the outreach efforts during the month of November, as well as the number of lives saved by New Jersey Transit officers utilizing Narcan during the month of November. The chief also briefed the committee on the ongoing preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. That concludes my report.
Thank you. President and CEO Corbett will present the action items.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Mike Kilcoyne, Senior Vice President, Surface Transit and General Manager of Bus Operations, present Board Item 2412-67. Mike.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval Item 2412-67, execution of Contract 000-0060 for the provision of access link service in Region 6, which is Bergen, Passaic, Hudson, and parts of Essex counties. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with MPC Bus Corporation of Brooklyn, New York, to operate access link service in Region 6, Bergen, Passaic, Hudson, and parts of Essex counties for a 60-month contract period from June 29, 2025 through June 29, 2030 at a cost not to exceed $159,003,253 plus 5% for contingencies for a total contract authorization of $166,953,416, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of Item 2412-67.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2412-67? Do I have a second? Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss? Yes. Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Rich Schaefer, Senior Vice President, Capital Programs, to present Board Item 2412-68. Rich.
We are presenting for approval item 2412-68, NJ Transit Resilience Program's Raritan River Bridge Replacement Project, award for general construction contract GC.02. Authorization is requested to award the general construction contract GC.02 to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Skanska Koch Incorporated of Carteret, New Jersey, at a cost not to exceed $444,380,524.00, plus 5% for contingencies subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2412-68.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2412-68?
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara? Board Member Nara? Oh,
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. I would now ask Rich to continue with item 2412-69 regarding Perth Airport Station. Rich.
Thank you, CEO Corbett. Authorization is requested to provide additional funding in the amount not to exceed $4,800,000 plus 5% for contingencies to negotiate and execute necessary changes to the contract with Hall Construction Company of Wall, New Jersey, for the construction of the Perth Amboy Accessibility Improvements Project, subject to the availability of funds. Authorization is also requested to provide additional funding in the amount not to exceed $1.8 million plus 5% for contingencies for the contract with KS Engineers PC of Newark, New Jersey, to provide additional construction management services for the Perth Amboy Station Accessibility Improvements Project, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2412-69.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2412-69?
Motion.
May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. I would now ask Rich to present Board Item 2412-70 regarding MMC claim settlement.
Thank you, CEO Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2412-70, NJ Transit Resilience Program Meadows Maintenance Complex, MMC Rail Operations Center, Building Flood Control Contract Amendment for Settlement of Claim. Authorization is requested to amend the contract with DMR Construction Services of 160 Hopper Avenue, Waldwick, New Jersey, to resolve all remaining claims by DMR Construction Services Incorporated against New Jersey Transit for $426,010.38 for a total contract authorization not to exceed $20,600,318.38. We ask for your approval of item 2412-70.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2412-70?
Motion.
A second? Second. Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Members Brown, Thomas, and Weiss are recused from 2412-71 and will not comment or vote on the item.
Great, thank you. I'd now like to introduce Banu Thomas, Senior Vice President and Chief Admin Officer, to present Board Item 2412-71 regarding administration of our medical plan.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item number 2412-71, contract number 0000035 for administration of self-funded medical plan. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract for administration of self-funded medical plan. We ask for your approval of item number 2412-71.
12-71.
Motion.
Could I make a comment on this?
Yeah, once we
What's that?
motion and second, and then we'll have a discussion. So we
Motion.
have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Please, thank you. You know, I have reviewed the correspondence and the testimony from the employee representatives regarding the change in health insurance administrator. And it seems to me that switching health insurance providers creates two significant problems to the agency. The first is a significant risk of litigation, which, without commenting on the specific merits of any threatened litigation, I think would be problematic for the agency. Putting aside any potential litigation, it would certainly, without question, undermine employee morale and be very harmful to labor relations. And I think those considerations outweigh any proposed savings that may be gained from switching. And for that reason, in my discretion, it's my conclusion that it is not in the best interest of the agency, the ridership, or the state to switch insurance carriers. And for that reason, I will be voting to keep the current insurance policy until something different is negotiated with the applicable unions.
If I may, Mr. Chair?
Yes, absolutely.
In my opinion, just based on the testimony we've heard, some of the feedback we got from our professionals, and an experience I've seen, and I know the concerns of our labor folks, you know, cheaper insurance doesn't always necessarily translate into better service or better quality. And I think at the expense of our riders, our workforce, and the agency, I think it's in the best interest that we maintain the policies that we have.
Thank you. Megan, you want to take a roll call vote?
Is there one more comment?
Any other comments?
Chairman, I'm gonna say that actually Board Member Morocco summed up my comments. So I just want to go on the record saying that I completely agree with his statement.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'll take a roll call vote.
Megan.
Vice Chair, did you have a comment?
Sorry, just a question. Yes, just can you please have Benu reread the question again at hand, or the proposal at hand? I just want to make sure I understand exactly what that question, how was posed.
So authorization is requested to enter into a contract of administration of self-funded medical plan. We're asking for approval of that item.
And you're saying that's with current provider or new? That's the part I'm not understanding in the request.
New.
Okay.
USC, it has to be in here.
Just give me 1 minute, I'll read it.
Megan, you have the resolution that we can read?
Yes, I'll read it. Okay, the resolution reads, now therefore be it resolved that the chair or president and CEO is authorized to enter into NJ Transit contract number 0000040 with, it's 00035, I'm sorry. Contract 0000035 with Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey for administration of self-funded medical plan, which contract will provide administration of medical benefits to active and retired NJ Transit employees and their eligible dependents beginning January 1st, 2026 for a period of 3 years and 2 one-year renewable options on terms and conditions and at cost to be agreed upon by the parties subject to the availability of funds.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you. Are there any other comments before I take a roll call vote? Okay, roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Morocco? Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Members Brown. For the record, Board Members Brown and Thomas are recused from item 2412-72 and will not comment on the item.
Thank you. I'd now like Benu to carry on with present 2412-72 regarding the pharmacy plan.
Sure. We are presenting for approval of item number 2412-72, contract number 0000040 for administration of self-funded pharmacy plan. The authorization is requested to enter into the contract for the administration of self-funded pharmacy plan. We ask for your approval of item number 2412-72.
Okay. You have it ready, though, okay, you have it ready. May I have a motion to approve board item 2412-72? May I have a second? Second. Any discussion?
Second.
Yeah, if I could, Chair. For substantially the same reasons that I set forth in the last motion, I think it would be a mistake and not in the best interest of the agency to switch providers at this point.
Mr. Chair, I concur with my fellow board member.
Any other?
As do I, Chair.
Okay. And you want to read the bottom part of the resolution, Megan, so everybody...
Yes. So the resolution for this item is, now therefore be it resolved that the chair or president and CEO is authorized to enter into NJ Transit contract number 0000040 with Express Scripts Holding Company for administration of self-funded pharmacy plan, which contract will provide administration of pharmacy benefits to active and retired NJ Transit employees and their eligible dependents beginning January 1st, 2026 for a period of 3 years and 2 one-year renewal options on terms and conditions and at cost to be agreed upon by parties subject to the availability of funds.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Chair O'Connor and Board Members Brown, Cruz, and Thomas are recused from item 2412-73 and will not comment or vote on the item.
Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Jackie Stanford, Senior Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Treasurer, to present item 2412-73 regarding a personal injury claim.
Thank you, Kevin. We are presenting for approval item number 2412-73, personal injury claim of Domenico Magliano. Authorization is requested to settle the claim of Domenico Magliano through his attorney at an amount discussed in executive session. The Attorney General has approved the proposed settlement, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item number 2412-73.
Board Member Weiss?
May I have a motion to approve board item 2412-73?
Motion, or second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Fran, you get the last item.
I present item 2412-74. I am recommending approval of item 2412-74, appointment of the Executive Director, President, and Chief Executive Officer. This action item is to appoint Chris Calori as Executive Director, President, and Chief Executive Officer, CEO of New Jersey Transit, effective on January 16, 2025, and authorization for the Chair to negotiate and execute an employment contract reflecting salary, benefits, and terms as may be required, as discussed in executive session. May I have a motion to approve board item 2412-74?
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to voting to begin this process with Chris Calori. I was just thinking, I had talked about how with Kevin, you know, there's this, at any time he'd be available to speak. When with Chris, I've gotten to know him for years now. I've met with him in Camden, I met with him in Princeton, I met with him in Newark and New York. I know Chris just, he knows the system, he knows infrastructure inside and out, and he knows the state inside and out, and our region. I don't need to repeat everything about all the infrastructure knowledge that he has, but I know in his other capacities over the years, his understanding of economic and community development, what this agency can do for that, is profound, and looking forward to working with him in that capacity. And the last thing is just, I think, like Kevin, he gets the meaning of transit, why we do this. And so I'm excited, you know, to work with him and, you know, hopefully, assuming things go well under the chair's conversations, to have the opportunity to work with him in the next year.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to take a roll call vote?
Okay. Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes? Yes. Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, before we adjourn to executive session, I want to let the public know we will return to adjourn the meeting, but no further business will be conducted. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiation, the status of pending anticipated litigation, and matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, including but not limited to the personal injury claim of Anthony Constantino.
Motion.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I hereby reconvene the open session board meetings.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Abrantes? Here. Board Member Morocco?
Here.
Board Member Nara?
Here.
Board Member Weiss? Here. Board Member Caniff?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Chair O'Connor.
Yes, here, sorry. Since there's no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
May I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.